I'm going to introduce our speaker. And she's one of ours. She grew up in this church. I knew her when she was a teenager. She was a good girl. Sister Marlene Yap is going to preach, bring us our message. She's our missionary that we support to APTS. Sister Marlene, come.
I knew Pastor Aaron when in my preteens. That shows how old he is now. That shows how old I am. We might, I'm sorry if we go a little late. Anyway, you can eat more 2 weeks from now during the International Festival. We always look forward to the missions convention. Actually, it's Pastor Aaron who started it more than 4 decades ago in his church. I've been attending since a small child, and then when he came, then we always look forward to it, especially the international battle. Oh, but especially the faith practice also. And we hear from missionaries who share from their heart of the mission field that they go to and the souls that are still waiting to hear God's message, God's word. And praise God, I was one of the 14 missionaries sent by United Bethel Church to China in the 1980s. God is really good. Before we continue, let's open with a word of prayer. Thank you, Father, for your goodness. Thank you, Lord, for your blessing in our lives. Truly, Lord God, you are the Lord of the harvest. So, Lord, I pray that you open our hearts, open the ears and the eyes of our hearts, that we will hear from you, that we will see you, know your heart. Pray, Lord God, that your presence will be with us. I pray that we will be open to your leading, to your word. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. What is your story? This morning I will tell you of 3 stories. Actually, one more story, 4. If there's time, then there will be a 5th story. So for the first 3, these are 3 characters from the New Testament. And the first character actually experienced rejection and abandonment. But after encountering an encounter with Jesus, she found acceptance. The second character experienced oppression and brokenness. But after knowing Jesus, he experienced healing and wholeness. The third person was named. The first 2, we don't know the name, but the third one, he experienced guilt and shame. But after knowing Jesus, he found acceptance and restoration. So, can you guess who they are? The first one, do you know now? The Samaritan woman. The second one, I had to do a cartoon this time so that I can be PG correct. He's the Gerasenes man who was demon possessed. The third person, you should know, dramatic guy. There's a rooster there. Peter. Yes, very good. All right. So for the first one, let's read John chapter 4, verses 4 to 30. Now, John chapter 4, now he had to go through Samaria, so he came to a town in Samaria called Sychar. Near the plot of ground Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there. And Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about noon. When a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" His disciples had gone into town to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew, and I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who is it that asked you for a drink, he would have given you living water." Sir, verse 11, The woman said, "You have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water?" Verse 12, "Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did also his sons and his livestock?" Verse 13, Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks the water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." Verse 15, the woman said to him, "Sir, give me these waters so that I won't get thirsty and have to keep coming here to draw water." And he told her, suddenly Jesus answered a very off answer. "Go, call your husband and come back." This is quite unexpected. Verse 17, "I have no husband," she replied. Jesus said to her, "You are right when you say you have no husband. The fact is, you have had 5 husbands, and this man you now have is not your husband. What you have just said is quite true." Verse 19, "Sir," the woman said, "I can see that you are a prophet. Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem." Let's skip to verse 25. The woman said, "I know that Messiah, called Christ, is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us." Then Jesus declared, "I, the one speaking to you, I am he." Verse 27, just then his disciples returned and were surprised to find him talking with a woman. But no one asked, "What do you want?" or "Why are you talking with her?" Then, leaving her water jar, the woman went back to the town and said to the people, "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah?" They came out of the town and made their way toward him. In this passage, we hear about the Samaritan woman. Jesus went to the Samaritan woman. By going to the Samaritan woman, even to Samaria, Jesus broke at least 4 barriers. There may be more. But the first barrier he broke is the racial barrier. If you notice verse 9, what does it say? The Jews don't associate with the Samaritans. There is a long history. I will just be behind this, but I will just summarize. These Jews left behind during the exile, they intermarried with the Gentiles, with the Babylonian people who ruled their land. So they have mixed blood. Everything, hollow. So when the Jews came back, they considered them as lower class. So they looked down on them. So what did you notice here? The disciples, they're supposed to be disciples of Jesus. They're supposed to follow Jesus, yeah? But Jesus said, in verse 4, Jesus had to go to Samaria. He had to go. He doesn't need to go actually. There's another route. There's another way to go to Galilee. But he said he knows he has an appointment. He had to go to Samaria. So the disciples, of course, they have to make excuses to disappear, yeah? And the best excuse, this is a tip, the best excuse is what? I need to go to buy food. So off they went. They left Jesus alone at the well in Samaria. Another barrier is a cultural barrier. Jesus talked with a woman. You can never do that during that time. Even now, maybe more modern now, but during the Mediterranean era, the time, they cannot talk publicly. Even husband and wife, they cannot talk in the market or public. They have to go home and talk. So that's how strict they are. So Jesus broke the cultural barrier. Another barrier is the relational. This is sort of a backtrack because of how many men was the Samaritan woman related to? Yeah, very good. Not 7, not that much, but 6. there were 6. 5 husbands, and the one she's with now is not even her husband. So imagine the rejection. Number 1, what rejection did she face? The Jews don't like them. So Samaritan, woman had rejection from the Jews. Number 2, rejection from the fellow Samaritan. Why did she come noontime? Very, very hot. Nobody comes out during that time. But she chose that time because she'll be alone. The women usually come out late evening when the sun sets so that it will not be too hot. And of course, the lady should know, you want to be together with other women for chika-chika, right? So that's what he did. She didn't want to join them. Okay, so she went out alone. Another rejection, the first is the Jews. Another rejection from the fellow Samaritan. The third rejection from whom? From the men themselves. She had 5 men in his life. The 6th one, what do you think is going on in her mind? When will he leave me? Right? You know, one after the other, they rejected her. So she faced, and suddenly there's a man, a Jew, a guy that came to the well to talk with her. What do you think will she feel? Yeah, so surprised. Because another barrier that Jesus broke is a social barrier, also cultural. He said, what, Jewish guy, what instrument will you use? You know why? Because the religion dictates that you, next slide please, you cannot touch the instrument. You remember what she asked? What instrument will you draw water with? You have nothing with you. So because if you touch the cup or the container of the Samaritan who are unclean, he will also be unclean. So they know that, But Jesus broke that barrier. So he did everything. I can illustrate it by a house on fire. There's a house on fire. The fireman comes with a hose, water hose. He will go, and then will he just stand there and say, hey, come out, your house is on fire, come out, come out. No, right? He will go in to the house. The fireman will go into the burning house, open each door, shout, come and save whoever is trapped inside the house. The same. Jesus went to Samaria. He had to go, it says here. He purposely go. So the same with us. You have to go. Don't wait. The church is here. They will come. Make it nice. Make it good worship. They will just come. No. You have to go. You have to go. So that's at least 4 barriers that Jesus broke. The next story. But before that, we can see the woman after she realized that it's the Messiah that she was talking to. She ran. We'll continue with that later. The next story, Mark chapter 5, verses 1 to 20. Fewer verses, but still a story. It's a long story. They went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes. Verse 2, when Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day, among the tombs and in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. Verse 6, when he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, what do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me. This is kind of strange. Don't torture me. Who is the one that the demons are torturing? The men, right? But they're scared of being tortured. So, quite conflicted. For Jesus had said to him, come out of this man, you impure spirit. Verse 9, then Jesus asked him, what is your name? My name is Legion, he replied, for we are many. And he begged Jesus again and again not to send them out of the area. A large herd of pigs were feeding on a nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, send us among the pigs. allow us to go with them. He gave them permission, and the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. The herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep banks into the lake and were drowned. Verse 14, those tending the sheep ran off and reported this in the town and countryside. And the people went out to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons sitting there, dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people what had happened to the demon-possessed man, and told about the pigs as well. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you, and how he had had mercy on you." So the man went away and began to tell in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him. All the people were amazed. So this is the second story. The first story is the Samaritan woman. The second story, the Gerasenes man. I don't know any of you who are who likes to watch exorcist film. You know, have you? Okay, I don't suggest, I know. Some really like but if you notice the exorcism there, the priest or the pastor, they're all bloodied, and they have all the wounds inflicted by the demons, It seems like the demons are so strong. But it's not so. Look, what did Jesus do? Just a command, get out. And they have to plead, right? The demons have to beg, "Oh, Jesus, don't send us away." Or maybe the pigs. So Jesus said, "Okay, go." So that's what Jesus did. See, the pigs drowned. Sayang, no, the how many kilos of barbecue or bacon? But look what happened when you see the next slide. But it's not, right? How you wish, to say the bacons but no, what does it mean? Because for Jesus and for us as well, that man is more important than 2,000 pigs, right? Amen. Or even 4,000 pigs or 10,000 animals. A man is more important. And that's what Jesus did. It's okay. Unfortunately, how did the people react? So sad, They got scared. "Oh, Jesus, go, leave us. Okay, so I'll continue with what happened later after the third story. The third story, now you know a name. Third story, this person is part of the inner circle. Always three following Jesus. See, Peter, you know the rest, James, and John, always the three. Peter was also the one who witnessed the transfiguration. Jesus changed, became as bright. Next slide, please. So the transfiguration, he also got to walk on water. Who among the disciples did that? Only Peter, right? Another one is his name. Of all the disciples, only Peter's name was changed. At first it was Simon, then became Peter. So on that last night before Jesus was crucified, they're having a supper. So what did Jesus say? "Tonight, all of you will fall away on account of me." What did Peter answer? Matthew 26, verse 33. Peter replied, "Even if all fall away on account of you, Jesus, I never will." So so proud, so arrogant. "I will never." Sure enough, that evening, how many times did he deny Jesus? At least 3, Very good. So, he denied Jesus, and he became so guilty and so ashamed, full of shame. So this is what Jesus, the disciples of Jesus, but we will see later what happened. So when he denied Jesus, he was full of shame. Shame, okay, again, I will try to review, because as a teacher, I realized I have to repeat 18 times for my student to learn a Greek word. So the first one, the woman suffered rejection, yeah, he was rejected. The second, Gerasenes man was broken, was oppressed, yeah. The third one is Peter, shame and guilt, very good, shame, full of shame and guilt. So shame, I guess many of us have done something that is so embarrassing, yeah? I won't ask you to say that's right, because it's embarrassing. A shame can mean, let's enumerate, experiencing bankrupt. Shame can be a teacher or a boss calling you stupid in front of all. A shame can be a husband leaving the wife or a younger woman. A shame can be a wife asking for separation. A shame can be substance abuse, drugs or alcohol. Shame can be infertility. Shame can be becoming an old maid like me. Shame can be internet porn, pornography. Shame can be being molested when young. Shame can be being kicked out of school because you failed. Shame can be getting an abortion. Or shame can be not finishing high school or not finishing college. It can be any form. So I won't ask you to raise your hand either, but these are the shame that Jesus has died on the cross for. There is no reason for us to dwell on the shame because he has taken it for himself and given us deliverance, giving us acceptance and restoration. Amen. Right? We don't need to. How do you know you are free from the shame? You are free to say it. You are not embarrassed or ashamed. You know, I'm not ashamed. I'm an old maid. I'm happy. So what happened to the three persons after resurrection? Okay, the first one. Oh, we should go back to Peter again, huh? After the resurrection, yes, go please. No, the next slide, please. Yes, please, yes. He went back to fishing, yeah? And then Jesus came and taught them, okay, why don't you fish on that side? You can get more fish. So they did, and they recognized it's Jesus after the resurrection. So when they got the fish in, Jesus cooked breakfast for them. Jesus cooked, and he came to talk to Peter. What did he say? What was their conversation? John chapter 21, verse 15. 3 verses only. You'll be fine. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, he said, you know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my lambs. Again, Jesus said, Simon, son of John, do you love me? He answered, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. Jesus said, take care of my sheep. The third time, he said to him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time, do you love me? He said, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my sheep. In the same way, Jesus can deliver us. So these are what happened for the three people. They were restored. Okay, the first one, rejection. Jesus accepted the woman. You see how much he felt, the joy that he felt. What did the woman do? Yes, he shared it. Right? He went into the city to her village. He said, "Come, there's a Messiah that knows everything of what happened in the past." The second one, the Gerasenes, he was dressed, he was delivered, and he pleaded with Jesus. Messiah, Jesus, I want to go with you. No. You go back. I will backtrack a little. I know, I'm not saying that we are demon-possessed here, but I just want to tell you, oppression, the work of the devil comes in different form. Most are not are not obvious. They are very, very subtle. It can start with small, small things. One day you didn't have your devotion or prayer, it's okay. Next day, another day, I did. Third day, fourth day, it might go on and you will be very numb. You will not realize it. There's this pastor, my colleague shared it. He is counseling a person in the church, a man who was addicted to internet pornography. So he was thinking, the pastor was thinking, I cannot explain well. I had to know what it is. That's a bad move. He went into the internet, looked at the pornography, 5 minutes. The next day, 10 minutes. The third day, 1 hour, 2 hours, until he was hooked. He was addicted. And the church came and asked him, what do you choose? The family wants to leave him. What do you choose? Church, your ministry, your family, or the addiction? Sad to say, he chose the addiction. So because it started very slowly. No one will decide tomorrow I'll backslide. No, right? Because it's a slow thing. So this is, again, the demonic work, be watchful. How can you fight against demonic? The Word of God. Prayer. Make sure you are grounded in the Word of God. And in prayer especially. The third person, Peter, what happened? Yeah? When he was filled with the Holy Spirit, recorded in Acts chapter 2, he preached the gospel. How many accepted Christ? 3,000 at least. 3,000 or more or less 3,000. And every day, people were being added to the church. So we cannot pay back. Last week's Brother Daniel said, we cannot pay back. What? Our salvation, the grace of God, we cannot. One thing you can do, share the word. One thing you can do, tell others about Christ. So these are the 3 stories. Let me tell you, in conclusion, one other story. I'm not going to teach you to play mahjong, but there is 50 years ago, who was already, I want to ask, 50 years ago, there was a college student, a lady college student. She heard about Christ, she accepted Christ, she started coming to United Bethel Church. It was this church 50 years ago. She was so excited, she grew. She wants her whole family to accept Christ, to know Christ. So, after church, she will go home. And every Sunday, in that family, the elder, the uncles, aunties, they will play mahjong. The kids, all young, because she's the eldest cousin, all the kids will play together, they have all kinds of patintero, hide and seek, they have all kinds of games. So, she will stand beside the mahjong table while all are playing. She will preach the gospel. Preach every Sunday. So, after many months of Sundays, her parents, plus the aunties, uncles, they all told her, hey, can you stop preaching? You can just bring all your younger cousins. There are a lot of cousins, all younger. Just bring them. Leave us alone in peace to play mahjong. We're enjoying this. So that's around 50 years ago. I started coming as a 5-year-old to attend Sunday school, and the rest is history. This is history, but still in the making. God is good. So people are waiting to hear your story. I know each of you have a story of salvation, story of God's grace. Some are still waiting, if not for my cousin to share. As a young child, I wouldn't know Christ. So that's my message for you. People are waiting for your story. Let's close in prayer. Thank you, Father, for your word this morning. Thank you, Lord, for the 3 stories that you have recorded in the New Testament. Lord, I pray right now for people who are undergoing rejection, who have felt rejection from their family or even from their own parents or friends. Let there be healing, Lord. Let there be acceptance. Show them, Lord God, that you accepted them. Pray, Lord God, for those who are having addiction, having oppression from demonic oppression. So, Lord, we pray right now for your deliverance. We pray for your healing in the name of Jesus. I pray also, Lord, for those who are facing shame, who have so much shameful past, Lord. I pray that you'll minister to them. Let them know that you accepted them, that you have forgiven them, that you have a plan for them. So, Lord, right now, we come before you. We know it's only by your grace. I pray that you put your love in our hearts, that we will be able to share our story, your story, to others, Lord, that they can also have their story. We give you all glory, all praise. In the name of Jesus.